Hey, Perry here, doing another unboxing. Today we are gonna unbox this QSC TouchMix-8, and this mixer is going to go into band share A. I mostly use this band share A for my own band, but I also have other bands that use it once in a while. But we're going to be testing this out, these products out with my own band to get kind of a real up close and personal view, or listen to them all. This is a little bigger than I thought it was going to be. It didn't look this big on the in the advertisements. Comes with a nice case. You can see it's ooh, that's really nice carrying case. So that's a nice bonus with these QSC mixers. Looks really solid. It's, you know, it's got hard foam inserts in there, and so that's why I thought it was bigger than it was, because the case actually houses the mixer and then some accessory cabling here. This is what it looks like. The mixer that I have now in there is a Mackie DX8, which is a similar idea to the QSC TouchMix-8, although this doesn't require that you have an iPad. The DX8 does, and luckily I had an extra iPad, but if you don't have an iPad, this is a really nice option, because you don't need one. It just has the TouchMix capability right built into it. So yeah, this case comes with the mixer, and then I'm assuming it's just a power cord in here. Oh, it has a big wall wart type thing, which, you know, saves space in the mixer. They don't have to condition the power inside the mixer, but then you have to deal with this wall wart type thing, which is, you know, not a big deal in a rehearsal type situation. It might be a little, in a club, you'd have to figure out where to hide it. But for my purposes, a wall wart's just fine. Does look like it's pretty beefy, which means, you know, the handling of the power should be very stable, and that's important in this industrial area around here. We do get power surges and spikes, so it's nice to know that your gear is protected. So let's just see here. I'm going to plug this in and just kind of go over some of the features that I can see. As far as I know, it's fairly straightforward. It's a mixer with all the standard EQs, and I'm not sure, but I would imagine there's some built-in compression. I'm gonna plug this in. Thing I do notice here that the DX8 doesn't have is it does have phantom power here, which is great, because the microphones that I'm going to be using are actually condenser mics, which is different for live vocal situation. Usually you use dynamic microphones. So I'm curious to see how that all works. So plug it in. There are a couple USB ports back here. I'm not exactly sure, maybe to update the firmware. There is I'm imagining that has some, this little USB thing has some things that you can access, maybe different plugins or stuff like that. So this is what it looks like when you turn it on, and looks like you can just touch this and move the fader. Networks successfully created or joined. Power removed unexpectedly. Okay, I don't know why that happened. So yeah, so there's the master fader there, and then mute. It's got mute, then augs. Oh, so that's cool. You press the augs button, and then you can turn whatever auxiliary reverb or yeah, I would imagine reverb or delay. Not sure how the compression or EQ works on there, but effects masters. There's a lot of stuff in here to go over, but I'll be plugging this in and testing it with my system. It's got, looks like it's got 3 or 4 XLRs that can also be used with 1/4-inch TRS. So if you want to, I would assume you can put, well, I know you could put a instrument right in there, like a guitar or a keyboard, while using your XLR inputs. And then it's got 4 that are just XLR, which is really cool. It's got 4 auxiliary outputs on the back, so I'm guessing you can put maybe some compressors or some outboard effects units there. In there, it's got a left and right, which is XLR, which should work really well with the new speakers that I'm getting. Just a standard XLR microphone cable will feed into the speakers. It's got a phones output. It's got a stereo in right here. Stereo in, so you could plug in iPods or any auxiliary inputs that you have that are in stereo. It's got a standby button. So I have to check that out, but maybe if you're getting feedback, you can just put it on standby and it'll turn off. It's got mute groups, so looks like you can set mute groups, effects mute, and then it's got a master fader here, which I'm not sure what you can do there. It's got a fine, you press the little button here on the side, and then it has fine tuning, so you can really fine tune your different levels. So I have a lot to look into and go over on this, but it looks really cool. So we'll plug it in and we'll test it out.